I'm called Harisu Fanwe, and in this Udacity mentorship teaching demo, I will be giving an introduction into front-end web development using React. Before we move ahead, I want to give an outline on how I'm going to give the introduction. First off, I'm going to start by giving an overview of what front-end development and React.js is, and move further to give an introduction into what is React. Then I will make a sample React application, like we are going to use a create React app command line tool to generate a sample React application. We will go through the structure of a React application, and then conclusion. So moving straight to the point, we are going to start off by let me start off by giving a sample scenario on some things that we do experience in real life. First off, imagine you are on social media, for example Facebook, and then you click on a like button or a thumbs up button, and then you need, after clicking the thumbs up button, you need to things don't show up, you need to refresh the page before you see it turns from uh, empty to a filled bluish thumbs up. This is actually going to be real a hell of a work for us, like it's wasting your time, and then you are not informed of whatever you have done. uh, a similar thing will happen, for example, in cases where like real-time information is expected at the UI. For example, let's say you are carrying out a voting information system, and then we build it, and then as votes are coming in, people who are on the website viewing and cannot see votes that are happening in real time. It's really going to mess up things and will end up leading the users to believe that nothing is happening, meanwhile things are actually happening. And because we cannot see, in the front end is actually at risk. We are not keeping our audience, or we don't, like, the purpose of front end has not been accomplished if such a thing happens. So React is there to take care of this. React is also a JavaScript library that is used for building UI. It is flexible and enough, and always allow you to be able to create complex UI from small parts known as component. So with React, you can accomplish a very sophisticated user interface by just using a small minute components, and then bringing them together to get a full-blown user interface that is completely reactive and then user-friendly, well styled using our CSS and animated with JavaScript and whatsoever we can think of that JavaScript does. React, in a typical software development cycle of model view controller, React falls at the level of the view, so it's responsible only for what we see. It does not have to do with the controller logic or the models. React is also a JavaScript framework that's built and open source. It's built by Facebook, and then it's open source, one of the highest used front-end libraries that we know of. It's a library and not a framework, so you need to take note. Now, what problem is React actually solving? We've actually seen what React is. Now, what problem is it solving? React is coming into place to kick away the need for you to actually refresh your page and then get things done in a lazily way, and then make the front end light and user friendly and reactive, as the name says. So with React, you are going to accomplish just enough that you will never have thought of if you don't use React or any reactive front end uh, library or tool. Okay, an introduction to React. The React library is declarative. That is, React, it makes it painless to create user interface, design simple views for each state in the application, and re-render only the right component with change in data. With React, you can only, like, since it's component based, and then you can write multiple of these same components in various other location files, Then each component manages only a state. So the data supplied to that component, once it changes, we expect only that component to actually be re-rendered to our uh, DOM, and not the whole page being rendered just because a small like button has been clicked. That's really going to waste just enough resources that we don't have, and time that the user will not have to sit and wait. React is also component based. What we mean by component based, React is it builds an encapsulated component that manages their own state and then compose them into complex user interface. Take, for instance, the scenario of building a simple web page using HTML, CSS, and HTML and CSS. Only with HTML, you need the HTML tag, you need a body tag. Inside the body tag, you need like a div tag. Inside a div tag, you need a nested of other div. You need a paragraph, you need a bold and italic, a span. All of these things are nested. Similar, the same idea moves to React. React is component based. You can actually nest the components, with each component having a complete different set of data that it handles, and then styling and everything. So you just compose them into a main other component that will render all of this, such that it actually gives us the advantage we've spoken about. Since the logic is in component, the Java, and it's written using JavaScript, that makes it easy to pass data along in the app. That is to say, if the parent component, which is like, if you are in analogy to our normal web page, is going to be something like our body tag. The body tag is going to be the parent of all the other nodes inside the web page. So parent element can actually, or parent component can pass data in the form of props to the children element to render. And one of the other advantage of React is that it's a learn once and then write anywhere. With React as a skill, you are both a full stack developer, and then you are a mobile developer, a front end web developer, just all of this by just knowing one library, or JavaScript and then a React library. So you can use React to build native app, cross-platform native app with a small tweak. It's not actually going to be the same, but the same logic and the same flow for website works with mobile when you move to React Native. Here is a sample component, a hello world component built using React. We have started by defining a class with the name hello world, which extends React.component. So what we are actually needing is the component from the React library. And before this even works, we need to import the React from. We need these imports before we can actually use the React component. We need to have performed this import. That notwithstanding, there's also React DOM. You might need to ask me where is React DOM coming from. React DOM is also part of the library that we need to import. So we also need to import this library before we can competently use them. So the hello component is defined here as a class and object, then it takes in a props with the name. So look at how we call the hello world component. Once we are inside the React DOM, the React DOM will call, when invoked, will actually call the render method to mount this component in the document using this ID. Any document object that has the ID root will be used to mount hello world component. And then while mounting it, they will pass the props name, which has as value Harisu, to this hello world component. So what we actually expect to see in the UI is going to be something to be expected to see hello Harisu here when this component is rendered. So let's move straight to creating a React application which we can use now to demonstrate how a simple Hello World program. To do that, we need to create an app, a React app using the command uh, create React app. And to get access to this command, we need to have either downloaded or installed the command using npm install create React app. This is old-fashioned, so the new way of getting is to use npx create React app hello world. Now, once we launch this command, it's going to pull in the libraries and the codes that are necessary for us, careful the project for us, so we can use to build our start editing and configuring our React application. So this, while it's downloading, we can move straight to when the download will complete. We are going to have something like this. So we are going to see now our app has finished cloning, so we can now sit into it. Okay, it's fully generated. Now we have to load it into our IDE, which we have it now on Sublime Text. But then we need to run it to see scaffolded app generated to us by our create React app command line tool, which we use. So it's launching the app. Then while it's launching, you might want to just exploit. Okay, before you know it has even already launched. So let's see what it renders to us in the browser. The app has been launched at localhost port 3000. Why it's taking time to launch? This is the first time. That's the reason why it's maybe taking some time. So we can be exploiting the file structure while it's loading. On the file structure, you notice that there's the node modules. These node modules is it contains all our packages and dependencies that the app is running on. And we also have our public. The public folder is going to contain all our assets, the icons, the manifest file, which is the configuration file for the app. Then we have our source. Most of the programmer's development is going to happen inside this source file. And we also have the ignore. In this file, we are going to prevent some of the files that we don't want to be pushed to Git, like main modules that contain dependency. We don't push it to Git. We don't push some of test code and build. When in production, we don't push the build to Git in case we are managing our code via a version control tool. Package.json contains the definition of all of those dependencies that we are going to use in our app, like the React script, the build command, the test command, the checked, yeah. So we have the README and then the YARN log file. So yeah, this is the app that's actually been launched on our localhost port 3000. We have learned React. Let's now check our code and see if we can find out inside the source we can have the app.js. This is where we have our learn React. Then let's remove it and put hello world. And we save it. Now it's automatically recompiling in code. We have our hello world now. So actually we have edited our first React app to have hello world. Can then move further to see how much we can customize it. This text edit app.js to save and reload. It's actually what we just did. So many other things are happening here. We can explain the others in our next. The others will be explained in our next upcoming videos. So thank you for attending or following up our introductory course on this front-end web development with React. Hope to see you in our next and exciting lecture where we are going to go into full details of the development.